Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Shayna, and before you I have the Owl card, the Veil card, and the Ghost card, and these are from the Halloween Oracle. And these messages are going to take care of October 5th, 6th, and today the 7th. And when I say that, I do not mean that these messages were specifically pertaining to those dates. I do not mean that. I just mean that they are the cards making up for those dates. Okay, so the message that comes through here, through these cards, or through these cards as a combination, is a message for whoever is watching this whenever they are watching this. And I've said this in the past. If someone watches this a week from now, a year from now, 2 days from now, the message still applies. You probably cannot see, but I have a little array of pumpkins in the back. And I have some new stones, and I'm really excited because this weekend we went to a fall festival and to a farm. They had like a haunted hayride and some things for the kids, and they didn't actually have, well, they do have a pumpkin patch, but that was during the day and we went at night. So we weren't able to actually pick our pumpkins from the patch, but we did shop for our pumpkins at the pumpkin stand, and so we purchased our pumpkins that way. Hopefully we'll be able to actually pick our pumpkins from a patch before the month is over, but that is what we did this weekend. And then we also, at the fall festival that we went to, they had a little table where they were selling crystals and stones, and then they had like this little mining setup where you could mine for fossils or gems. And so me and my kids, we did the mining for gems. And I thought that I would do a video, not today, but another video, another day, on those gems and what I found, and just to talk a little bit with you about what they are, what their names are, and what they can represent. For example, I do have this one right here sitting in the front, and this is pyrite. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And they call it fool's gold. There we go. And it is said to help with business matters, so financial and business matters. And then this one I wanted to show you. If you're on my Facebook, you've already seen it, but this is a very nice big chunk of a amethyst cluster. It's like the size of my palm. It's pretty big. Much bigger than the one that I normally have out. You can see the size difference. So they had those for sale, so I grabbed that. This is one of the biggest ones that she had, so I'm really excited to have this. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing a video on the stones that I got while mining, here's some of them. We can go through them and talk about what they are and all that goody stuff, okay? This is actually a little shell that my daughter found, and she gave it to me. So, anyhow, just wanted to say that. Okay, let's get started. We're going to start with the Owl card, and I'm going to just move it up a little bit so you can see it better. So, sorry about that, guys. And you know what? I would stop this and redo that, but I've already done that like 5 times. So, we're just going to go with it. So, owls. Most of you probably know owls represent wisdom. They're known to be a sacred animal. They have very big eyes. So, they can represent really opening your eyes and looking at something in a better way, in a different perspective, or looking at something a different way before you actually make a decision. This can be, really thinking about something and being more strategic rather than impulsive when making decisions or acting upon something. So, and that comes, the strategic comes in with the Greek goddess Athena, and she represented the wisdom and the ability to strategize. So that's where the thinking of things in a strategic manner, where that comes from. They are also said to sometimes represent death, or to be a warning of something happening. They are known to be harbingers. Is that how you say it? Harbingers of the supernatural. So, meaning that something supernatural may be on its way to manifesting in your life. Let's move on to the veil. And I'll just move the camera a little bit closer. So we have the veil, which is right there in the center above the pumpkin. Now the veil, this is about your future. It's about really paying attention to your intuition. It means that it's a really good time to know what you want, set your intentions so that you can manifest them. It's a good time for divination. It can be, communication with the dead can be a lot more successful at this time. This can also mean that other worlds are closer and nearby, like your ancestors. It can also mean gods are closer. It's actually believed, I think, by the ancient Celts that there was a veil that separated the worlds between the living and the dead. And on the longest night of the year, between the longest night of the year and the shortest night of the year, they believed that that veil was at its thinnest. And hence the veil card meaning a good time for communicating with the dead and divination practices. And then we have over here as our third card, the ghost card. And ghost represents regret. And I'm sure that we all know, or we at least know what is said, that when we have loved ones or anyone that passes on and their spirit does not leave this world, generally, there are many reasons for why this can happen, but generally it is because they have some sort of unfinished business. They have wishes that they still want to be granted, or problems that need to be solved, or regrets that they have not let go of. So again, the ghost card can represent regrets. We can look at all these cards as 3 separate messages. Maybe someone is going through a decision-making situation right now, and they're really not sure on what to do. Okay, that can be the owl card. You may not know what to do, or you may be acting emotionally or impulsive during this decision-making. And this is just a warning to really calm yourself, relax, look at things with a different perspective, and try to be more strategic in planning or making a decision rather than being impulsive and making the wrong choices. Again, the veil, this can represent someone who is either really having a struggle with their intuition, feeling that maybe their intuition is telling them something and they're not sure whether or not to really focus in on that and really believe that that's their intuition, or is it just their mind going, just their mind racing. This can also represent someone who may think that they have communicated with the dead, or that maybe an ancestor or a god or a loved one or something, etc., has tried to contact them. This could be confirmation of that. This can also just be encouragement if you are thinking of starting a divination practice such as tarot, or I know also, like, some people use Ouija boards. I don't do that, but some people do Ouija boards, some do tarot, some do the voice boxes. There are different ways to contact the unliving or the dead, and that might be something that someone is thinking of doing. This could be encouragement to do so. The ghost card, very simple. Someone may be having regrets, and this is just encouragement to let go of those regrets, or advice to let go of those regrets. I also think too that it's a message of us being stuck, just like ghosts become stuck, just like spirits become stuck, and become ghosts. And I think that that's just what happens to us in life as well when we hold on to regrets. We don't necessarily have to die and pass on, but if we're not letting go of regrets in our waking life, then we aren't really thriving. We're not really living. We're just kind of surviving with these regrets and these burdens and this heaviness, walking around with this heaviness. So I think it's a message that definitely resonates with me, to let go of the baggage and let go of the problems, let go of the resentments, so that you can just have that weight lifted, and to be able to live and not be stuck. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it could be also a loved one who's stuck. Maybe a loved one is trying to come through. I did think that if this is a solid message together with all three cards, I was getting the message that something is trying to come through and communicate their regret. So if someone has a loved one that's passed on, or anyone, a friend or an enemy that has passed on, they could be trying to tell you they're sorry. And I see that because of the owl here, which is a warning of a supernatural manifestation. We have the veil, which is the thinning of the worlds, which means communication is a lot more likely. And then we have the ghost here with regret. So there could be some regrets, some regrets from those that have passed on, or these could be separate individual messages, as whichever way you guys want to look at it or take it, however it resonates with you. I hope you enjoyed these messages. I am going to go ahead and end the video, and I will try to come back tomorrow with another one. And if I don't, I will make up for it just like I did. And again, like I said, look for the next video that I'm going to do on the stones. And I hope that you guys like the video. Share, subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope that you have a wonderful Monday. Take care.